my cheat sheet. Okay, it's live now. Good morning, good afternoon, depends where you are. I'm so excited. I'm Irene Wong. I'm the co-owner of the ballroom dance shop called Dance Where Works and a Pro-Am competitor dancer for 16 years. I'm your host for Everything Ballroom. Our goal is to share the joys and benefit of ballroom dancing and to inspire more people to learn about this amazing industry. So I hope you like what we're doing here, and please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, Everything Ballroom. So today I'm so excited to have one of my wonderful friends to be with me on this live interview. And she has been the US and World Pro-Am champion since 2017 for open goal smooth and open goal standard. For people who has been in the industry knowing, just being to the open goal is already very, very difficult. To be the US and world champion, that's consecutively, that's almost impossible to many people, but she did it. And also not only that, she's an amazing businesswoman. A lot of my friends get to know her from her business, the Winning Look hair and makeup artist. And she also a high-level executive for America. Not mention that she has two amazing sons. We talk about work-life balance, right? And one of her older sons get into one of the most difficult school, the U.S. Academy, and another one already accepted to the Harvard. All parents like me wish we have that, right? So for that, let me welcome and introduce our guest of today, Patricia Schneider. Yay! Welcome, Patricia. So, get close. So, a lot of people already know you from the industry. For the people who don't know, let's do a quick introduction about you. Who you are, and also talk about how you get into this ballroom dancing business.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Well, I started probably around 14, 15 years ago. And I was driving around in my pink Cadillac in Mary Kay. And I was part of a networking group. It was a fun group to be a part of, like 50, 60 people that we all network together in the mornings on one morning a week. And one of my friends was a dentist, and she was dancing in this, gala that was happening in our community. And she was raising funds for the local hospital. And I'm not a stranger to raising funds for certain things that are happening in our community. So when I saw her doing it, I thought, oh, I want to do something like that. That would be so much fun. So the following year, they had some kind of audition, and it really wasn't an audition. It was just something where they chose 6 business people from the community, and they chose me to dance in their gala.
It was like Dancing with the Stars.
That's what it was.
But in the local community.
Right, I was the star in the community. I was like, wow, this is amazing. So they paired me with another a professional dancer, and away we went. I learned an open gold cha-cha.
Oh, for the first
time ever. And we performed it. We did so well. We ended up being top in the fundraising, and we did really well in the dancing, and it was such a fun event that I thought, oh, I don't want this to end. I love the dancing. It was so great. And then I danced with him for another 6 or 8 months, and then he injured himself, and then ultimately I ended up with my partner today, which is Suave.
Oh wow, you're lucky. Yeah. You end up with one of the best teachers. Right. Right. So we can see your face. Okay. So that's amazing. So do you have dance backgrounds, or
in high school, I love dance. I absolutely love music and dance and anything that had to do with it. I performed in plays and was part of theatrical productions as part of school, and then went on to into Hollywood and did commercials and movies.
You
and
are
things like
that in a sense.
so I was part of something that I loved, just loved to do. So I dancing in high school, I did a little bit of that. I was part of a dance company. And then by the time I was 18, I think there was something on stage that me and a partner were doing, and I did a hitch kick and broke my foot in 3 places, and
Oh my
I
God.
never returned back to dance after that. Never returned. So that was it. That was my dance experience.
Very similar to mine. So from the long time, and then by accident, get back to what we love to do when we were younger, and then dancing and music, such a loving place. You know, that's why, you know, I love dancing just like yours. So we actually compete a lot of time in together in the dance floor.
Yes.
So I'm always admire you and inspired by you. So you always win against me. And you know why? We're going to talk about that. So, you know, a lot of times we choose to achieve what we want to achieve. So that is very important. So now you have become such a icon, right? Consecutively winning the world and US champions open goal. You know, a lot of people look up for you. So can you share with the audience, say, what it takes to become a champion, right? So what is your tips? You know, for that, right?
Well, I think, I think the first thing that people always want to know is, you know, how did you do it? How did you do it? And I believe that being a champion, that it's the people around you. It happens to be the team that helps you. And if without that team, there is no championship. There is none. So that's first and foremost. I back in 2016, 15, I had hired a coach. I had Slavik on my team. I had Marjana. I had several other coaches that were in the dance industry that were part of my team. And you know, there's a saying that you are most like the 5 people that you spend the most time with.
I love what you say. It's a team who you want to be with.
So it's the team, it's who, and these people all inspire me. So you know, you want to be like what they are. And so I was always on that plane of, oh my gosh, I want to be like you. I want to be like you.
Yeah. Slavik and Marjana is definitely the world champions. And if people don't know them, check out my YouTube. I have an interview about them as well, and talking about, you know, their accomplishment, how to be successful. You will love them. So they are genuinely such a beautiful heart. And trying to get the best out of people. So that's why I'm saying you're so lucky that you're close to them.
Right.
And then you're so lucky when you started, you have a wonderful team there. So, okay, that's number one.
Yeah.
Choose the good team that you are inspired to be good, that you want to be with. So what's the next?
Next thing I think is where you're at. Like there are so many things, components to focus on. But if you're focused and you really want to be at the top, there's 3 things I feel like you have to keep in play all the time. And that's your physical body, your mental disposition, and what's happening up here, and spiritually, what's going on the inside of you and where you're at there. So in my life, these are all 3 things that I'm constantly balancing and working to improve and trying to be better all the time, you know. I mean, I don't always succeed.
You already said that. No, you're so humble on that.
But back in, again, like I said, in 2016, I had hired a trainer, and I just wanted to be stronger in my body. I wanted my body to look a little bit different. And so there was a time where I lost so much body fat. I walked into his studio, and I was 34% body fat, and then went down to 17% body fat within a very small period of time. And he taught me so much about taking care of my body and working on that aspect, because, you know, when you're out on the dance floor, the judges are human, and there's an aspect and a part of that, you know, they see the package,
Right.
what's coming out on the floor. And of course, that's something that I sell too, because I do hair and makeup. So I want the girls in my chair to look their very best when they walk out on the floor. But part of that is the physical part of your body, you know, knowing how much sleep you need to get, knowing how much practice, how much, you know, energy you have to have before you walk out on the floor, and being able to reserve or preserve that energy before you walk out on the floor. And then giving everything you've got while you're there.
That's so true. So I'm saying that we're so alike. You're doing the hair, makeup, I'm doing the dresses.
Right.
All about
the package. About the package, right? Exactly. And then, you know, we're both in skincare, so that's another part of it, that, you know, you've got to be taking care of the instrument that you're using, and that's the thing that the people are going to see from the very beginning. So the physical part, the mental part, knowing what you have to give, and I'm always looking for what's in this space, and what can I give in this space. So what is my greatness? What are my gifts, and what can I contribute to God? And so these things are all three of the 3 G's in my life. So
that's so beautiful. Those 3 G's that we need to focus at, right? So you're talking about the body, mind, and health.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. You do Mary Kay, and I do New Skin. Is all about, you know, looking good and feeling good,
right.
inside
right.
and out.
Right.
You know, we'll talk about that later on, about that topic. But you know, anything else you think you can give tips on that before I go into the next question?
Well, I was talking about training, but I'm also, when you're thinking about your mindset, never being in a place of smallness. And what I mean by when I said greatness, gifts, and God, what is the piece about you? Rather than thinking in smallness, you've got to think in greatness. And
love that.
Always go back, like a smallness thing that will come at you is like you're in overwhelm and you can't handle what's going on, or you feel like you can't do something.
Right.
And I hear all the time in my chair somebody saying, I'm nervous. And that is something that speaks to your own brain. Like in the base of the brain is something called the reticulating activator. And it is something so important that we don't really realize, that doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is not real. And so when it comes out our mouth, we automatically go towards whatever that is. So the person who says, I'm so nervous, well, she's going to be nervous on the floor.
Right. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yes,
that's what's going to be excited. Have the energy. I have the energy today. I'm super excited. I know that I can give what I gave in the studio yesterday. I know that, this is going to be you have to kind of be in a place of greatness in your
positive
own mind.
Energy. Yeah.
In your own mind, rather than in a place of smallness.
I love
and
that.
We get that way when we walk into the ballroom, and it becomes, guess what? Overwhelming. Right?
Yeah. So my teacher also said that, think about Olympians, they always have a self-talk before they walk into the dance floor, or walking onto the floor, and say, I will be the champion. I am the champion. I will be the champion. So it's kind of mindset to make us strong and beautiful. I love that mindset discussion. So
that's part of it. Just having those kind of components, everything kind of in and around what you're doing.
That's
plus, of course, you have to practice.
You have to practice. That's what I'm lacking among all of that. I think I have all except the practice part. So, so I believe that everyone can be a champion if you do what is needed, which one of them important beside all that is practice. That is very hard, easy to say than hard. So
Being ethical around your own decisions of practice. And that means that you say you're going to wake up and you're going to go practice on this day, and you do that. That's just being ethical around what your decisions are surrounding practice and surrounding what you want to do. I mean, being focused, being really truly devoted to the goal.
Right.
If that's your goal, then you have to be devoted to the goal and be ethical around the decisions that you're making to do that. And so, for me, and I just talked to somebody this last week. It was so fun to hear from her, because last year she was the champion here at Ohio in her, I think it was a bronze level or silver level, I can't remember, but she only had 5 weeks to practice because she was with a new partner and they had new choreography. And wow, what an amazing feat to do that. And I said, what do you think was the thing that made you win? And I said, if it was just like the number one thing. And she said it was the practice. And I said, well, how much did you practice each day, and how many lessons did you take? Well, what impacted me most was how much she practiced. And it was 3 hours a day. 3 hours a day. So that impacted me. And for me, it's an hour and a half in the morning. I'm usually at the studio 7:30 to 9.
Wow.
That's my practice time. And then I have lessons on top of that. So whether it's 2 or 4 or 6 lessons in a day, whatever it happens to be, because I have 2 different coaches or 2 different trainers, then I feel like are teachers, then there's still all of that extra time that I'm spending there.
Right.
So, and then there's I need to practice while I'm at competition. If I'm not there competing, I still need to be able to practice at the competition on my own without them.
So that leads to my next questions. This is practice. That's what I'm lacking among all of the things, right? So I know, and I chose, because I decided I'm not going for the number one. I'm just going for
You're going for fun.
Yeah. So that's my choice, which I'm happy I
Yes.
achieved, and I also achieved pretty good. I got in a final in Ohio once. I'm happy with that. At least it's not number one. It's still in final, okay. So I'm very happy. So so that time, and we talk about money also. So it's a lot of time, a lot of resource money to get into this. Yeah. So let's talk about times, right? I have 3 kids, you have 2, and I work for an IT company. We have my business and New Skins, and that's where I work. So you have your makeup, Mary Kay, and you have 2 wonderful kids, right? We can talk about kids forever. Okay. So, we both feel like they are the biggest accomplishment of all. So as a mom, so we're very similar on that. So let's keep that aside for this conversation. We can talk about that next. So how do you at least balance? A lot of people say, oh, "Wow, there's so much." How do you do? I get the question all the time. What's your
organization? Just being organized and knowing what your time frames are, and kind of, again, being ethical around those things that you need to personally do, because owning your own business it's a whole different beast.
I know
that you have to be disciplined around so many things that require for you to be successful in business. So organization, being organized, and knowing what are the small things that have to get done today that will progress my business, and what are the larger things that have to get done, and trying to stay as clear as you can of putting out fires, and having to put out fires is being proactive on the other side, so that the fires don't have to be put out, that you are already so proactive that there are not fires. So
that is the hardest part. I am in the New Skin business. We talk about helping the teams and leading the team. One thing I know, a lot of people, if they said, oh, I need to put out fire, because the timing, instead of understanding the source of the fire and then tackle that source, it takes disciplines and mindset, because the fire's here. how can you thinking about the sources fire? It's very, very hard, but I really love what you said though. For people, it really organizing and planning ahead on that. So this is so amazing. So prioritize them is very important. So we have limited time. Everyone have 24 hours. There's so many things we need to do is prioritizing, organizing. That is key. Anything else you want to add on that? So that's pretty much a fundamental,
That's
right?
really fundamentals of being successful in business, really just truly prioritizing your time, knowing how to stack that time and being proactive in what you have to do in order to progress your business.
Actually, I think it's more than business. That organization and prioritization apply to life for me, for the kids, absolutely, you know, the school, the works, and I mean, and the business. So the practice, you know.
So one of the very best books that I read as a brand new entrepreneur was the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Oh, I need to check out that book now.
It's an extremely wonderful book to read if you are if you struggle with organization, if you struggle with trying to prioritize your life, your relationships, your every part of what your life is about, and you find yourself always in a place of putting out fires or drama or situations like this, then this is a great book to read. It's an old book, but it's a great book.
I don't think O is a problem. Always good is the important things, you know. Right. O sometimes it's a good thing. So that's not a problem. So I definitely check out that book. So another thing that you mentioned is so important, relationship.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, you know, we prioritize our business, our hobbies, our kids, and missing our relationships, among all, right? Our partner relationship, our husband relationship, our friendships. So I think need to put everything into perspective and prioritize them at a holistic point of view. So I love what you said that. So we are in a common there. So now we're talking about expenses. That is very, very expensive hobby, right? I can share my thing, but I want to hear your thought too. You know, everybody talk about, you know, ballroom dancing is such an expensive hobby.
Yes.
How can you do it?
I think that when I first hired this coach years ago, Dina, she was absolutely incredible with helping me to understand how to effectively look ahead to see what my expenses were. So she would have me write what competitions that I would be dancing and what competitions I would be working, and then how they coincided. You know, if I worked on a competition that I dance, and any competition that I dance at, or that I dance at, I will work. So I have never gone to a competition ever where I have not worked and danced.
So similar to me.
Yes.
But I started actually a little bit different with you because I work for the IT company. So I have a full-time job, but flexible job because I'm in sales marketing. Dancing is such an expensive hobby, but I love dancing and I love making dresses. So I create that business with that concept is that, and I go to show competition because I only go when I started, not now. When I started, I only go to show my dresses only because I want to go competition there.
Yes.
So I want to go, for example, Emerald, so the West Coast. But I want to go there. And we took the business there.
Yes.
So it's really good idea. Say plan ahead. I know I need something. I want to spend money and in the same time earn money
right
at the same time. So you have you know, created your hair and makeup business from Mary Kay. You know, I need dresses. I created my dress business, and also my sister loved skincare and healthcare. She brought me in, so we create that. So I think it's wonderful that a lot of people, you guys have hobbies, okay? And you love dancing. And a lot of people make jewelries and, you know, we do, you know, makeup and dress. And both Mary Kay and Nu Skin, we call it MLM. Some people very negative, but we'll talk about that as well. But that is, I feel, is a tool for anyone want to be participated. You are interested in beauty and health, especially for me, is all more health than beauty to me, inside, outside. So that I found that we can offer to someone if you guys are interested to join us and explore. So that's a good one. Now I'm talking about MLM. That words, I found, people say, is it an MLM when I talk about Nu Skin? MLM, such a bad term. What is your feedback on that?
Well, okay, Mary Kay considers themselves a direct sales company.
We both consider ourselves a direct sales.
It's not an MLM. If somebody is making money off the next person who's making money off the next person who's making money off the next person, and the person at the bottom makes no money,
right?
That's what they consider that. So direct sales is everybody purchases their product from the company and sells it at the same discount or at the same retail value, and receives the percentage, the same exact percentage throughout the entire company. That's direct sales.
Yes.
So that is what
the difference.
Yeah, that's the difference.
A lot of people still relate that.
Yeah. So direct sales is something where everybody makes the same amount of money. Now, if I bring somebody into the company will pay me directly off of what she purchases from the company. So she never loses.
I love what you say. I learn about how to talk about it, right? So see, I don't know. There we go. So exactly, I feel the same way. We sharing the great product. People directly purchase. I have a website and you can purchase from it. Everybody purchase from. So now I learn how to explain this,
yes,
right?
Yeah.
It's not really the
traditional marketing.
A lot of traditional people talk about the MLM, but we are really doing the direct sales because it's directly from the manufacturing to the audience.
Right.
Wonderful. So it's good for me to learn how to talk about that as well, so we can be successful in both, right? So wonderful. So anything else you want to articulate to the audience also before we open up for the audience for questions?
Well, I like to go back to relationships, and again, that's who you surround yourself with. And I think that this part of our lives it's important for so many of the balls that are in the air as we're juggling,
right?
That they're based and they're grounded, in the sense of that you have good relationships so that you can be your best. I think it's difficult to walk around on a crutch, your invisible crutch of people that are not supporting you in your lives and are giving you a difficult time. And this is where relationships, you have to have clean communication. And that communication is, I intend on dancing. It's something that makes me whole. It's something that I enjoy. And so I want to do this. And so if there's somebody in your life that doesn't want you to do it, it's good to have clean communication with them and to share with them that it's important to really help them understand how it makes you happy. And then in that case, they can decide to come up and be a support to you. So I think that, again, having the right people in your life are what really makes it helpful, and being very very good with your communication with your teacher, very good communication with your coaches, and then again being ethical and honest with yourself.
That is the hard part, I think. A lot of people find excuses, reasons. My husband always says, there is a reason, there's a result. Why? So truly honest to ourselves sometimes is not as easy as we thought.
Right. Right.
So that is such inspiring.
And I'm gonna give you one more thing. For me, there are 3 things that I want out of dancing. Okay, so and they are in this order. So number 1, I want to have fun.
That's I am all here with you. That's my number one.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And when I'm not having fun, it's really hard to feel the energy that you want to feel from the floor, from the people, from the, from your teacher, from people around you. When you're not having fun, what is the point, right?
And then we are programmed. We're not making money off of this. If you don't, I keep telling people this. So this I'm 100% in agreement. If you don't, life is short, and then you pay so much for it.
So much for it, right?
Why not?
So number two is education. I want to learn.
Yes.
I don't want to just go from bronze to open gold because open gold looks pretty. No, I wanted to learn every step in between. I wanted to perfect those things. I stayed in bronze for three years in one discipline and 4 years in another. So it was 4 years in Latin and 3 years in standard before we moved into silver.
So that is the one thing I didn't do. That's why I'm not getting the gem. I just want to look good in the goal. I want to have but now I go back to the basics.
Yeah, but
I'm going back to the basics.
I still do too. But I'm not saying that you have to be that long in that. It's just a matter of being able to learn and be educated, and then moving on to silver, and then moving on to open. Don't go there until you're ready, until your teacher says you're absolutely ready. And if they don't say you're ready, then ask them, what is the thing that will show you that I'm ready for the next step? I need to understand what it is in your head that will make you see that. And then let them lay it out for you so you can see how you can move up. Then that's number 2, education.
I love that. Okay. So I come back to the education now.
Then number 3, when I'm on a competition, I go there to compete. So I want to win. Okay.
True.
But again, these are in this order.
Right.
1, fun. 2, education. 3, win. So
I really love your communication so clearly. So 1, 2, 3, what's the top priority?
Top priority is fun on any lesson, on any competition, on any time that I'm having interaction with my teacher. It's got to be fun.
Yeah. So I think the communication you're talking about. So we really need to be clear and articulated. So about this, not just yourself, to yourself honest, but also to your partners or your teachers, everybody around you to know.
Clean communication, clean. So they're aware of what you want and you become aware of what they want. It's just easier that way.
So beautiful. Yeah. Learn a lot. It's just, I knew I would be. So that's why I really love, having the conversation. Sometimes we just need to be chat more.
I love it.
So, okay. Anything else before I open for the audience to? Good.
I think so. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I already learned so much. Let's start asking people where I said. So if you have questions, raise your hands and then we open the mic. Anybody? Okay, Ellie, can you unmute yourself and spotlight yourself?
Hi, Ellie. How are you?
Okay. Hello, spotlight.
Okay.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Hi, Patricia. I have a question. So I know that you mentioned that your friend said that you 3 hours of practice every day. But what about how many lessons do you take every week?
How many lessons do I take a week? It varies, Ellie, because I have one in town instructor, and sometimes it's with him, it's 4, 6 lessons. That would be probably total for my week. And you know, he's always told me for every 45 minutes that I'm practicing, or that I have a lesson, that I should be double practicing that time. So double practicing what I learned on that lesson. Does that make sense? So if
Yeah, but then I have another question. So, for example, if I want to practice and I don't have my pro partner to practice with me, I don't know if I'm practicing right or wrong, or I do steps that's wrong and no one told me it's wrong. So I'm afraid that if I practice, I am practicing the wrong thing. So how can you prevent that?
Allie, it's so important that we understand that any kind of practice is still a practice with our own muscles and our own understanding of our body. And once we do it wrong several times, we come back to the teacher and they say, oh, you're doing it wrong. Now they teach us how to do it right. Well, now we know how we do it wrong. It is okay. So then we decide, okay, I'm not going to do it wrong. Now I'm going to do it right. So every time we have that, our muscles are activated in a certain way, we're still learning. You know, I think that people get so caught up on, you know, practice isn't right until it's perfect. But, you know, who cares about perfection when you can be brilliant? So
I'm starting to quoting you more. Okay.
So sometimes, you know, we can make accidents in front of the mirror and go, wow, that was really good. Oh, I like that. Maybe I should ask my coach about that. And that's kind of fun. But the thing about our practice is that we're learning every step of the way, even if we're practicing it wrong. We're learning how we did it wrong. So then when we can come back and we can learn how to do it right, we won't make that wrong. We won't make that mistake in the wrong way, right? So, yeah, a lot of people have that question, and it holds them back 100% from actually accelerating in their dancing.
I see. So I do need to practice.
And you know what, Ellie, one of the biggest things that I'll do on a practice, because like people don't always ask you, what do you practice, right?
Yes.
So when I'm on my own little sessions, I'm learning from myself, right? That's all I'm doing. I'm being my own teacher. And this is what Slavik has always taught me, to be your own teacher on your own lesson. And that's what your practice is. So when I go, I'll video. My greatest weapon is a video.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it's my best ability to understand what I can do right is to have him show me in an example, or Marjana, or any one of my coaches, or Sergey, who is my standard coach. Any one of them can show it to me on a video. Now I have a weapon, and I can take that to my own personal practice and learn from it. So if his body is pointed a certain direction and my feet are going another direction, and I can actually see that, can slow it down. So in my own personal practice, I'm not just dancing around all the time. That may come later when it's close to nationals or it's close to a competition. I may be dancing the entire choreography, but in my personal practice, I'm practicing little nuances that make up my choreography. So I'll go through and I'll look at the video and see how they did, you know, where their foot was pointed in a certain direction. Is it center, or is it diagonal, or how is that when I'm walking? What is it? Or how was their hand placement, or how was and sometimes they don't even demonstrate that, but what was their body doing? And then I can decide where my arm should be based upon where my body is. So I'm learning from their example on video. And if you don't have video of some of your own practices, I encourage you to get that video, because that's the #1 way that we're going to remember things.
I see. Thank you so much.
Really, I'm learning. I'm listening because I don't practice enough. I feel like for smooth, I found it so difficult to practice. For rhythm, I feel at least I got the routine. I can dance, but I found smooth so hard without the partner to lead me. So now I need to thing differently.
In a video, you can just do only 3 steps, and you could
True.
spend an hour on just 3 steps.
True.
Understanding exactly where every placement is, and just, you don't have to do things to music. You don't have to get out there and dance the whole thing. You can just practice arm styling or something, how your facial expression will be in your competition. That you could just practice that instead of, on competition having a serious face, and you can't, you don't even know you're not smiling. Yes. And then your teacher will say, "Could you smile? Smile, smile," while you're out on the floor.
Mine says that too much.
Right.
Actually, I'm not bodying too. I'm trying hard on my face, but not my body hard. Right. So yeah, I love what you said.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be this elaborate practice. It can be something so small or minute as just like 3 or 4 or 5 steps that your teacher was showing you, but you still felt like you didn't get on the lesson, and you kept thinking, "I'll practice that." Well, go practice it, and then come back and see what happens.
Wonderful. See, I know why I'm not getting the champion about all of that. So, anyone else have questions?
Me, Heidi.
Great. So,
Patricia, I would like to know, is there an age limit, like physically, for, like I started very late, learning competitive ballroom dancing with my husband, but I feel like everyone else has started like late 20s, mid 30s, and we're in our early and mid 40s. So, I don't know, like physically, maybe there are some constraints. Would that be?
So she said, does
champion
already start dancing early in the ages? They just started in the mid 40s. Okay. Is it physically constrained to be good in the competitive dance sport?
So number one, this is your journey, yours and yours.
Because there aren't a lot of new dancers, so sometimes in competition, okay, newcomer, just one couple.
Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of like embarrassing, or you're afraid to get out there all by yourself, or
like, okay, I'm the champion because there's no one else.
Okay. Yeah,
that's more embarrassing, right?
It also shows up, and if you showed up and you're the only one who showed up, you are the champion.
Oh yeah, that's a good mentality to think this way.
So it doesn't really matter, right? So you just mentioned one thing, it's your own journey. I'm a champion. I'm proud to be, even though there's only one competitor, because everyone else is so scared or not there present. So we should still be proud instead of embarrassed.
No, yeah.
With only one winner.
It's all who shows up. So even if 3 or 2 show up in the category, you showed up. You
is a lot.
Yeah,
because we're in Canada. We're quite small. So, but anyway,
your hair done. You got your makeup done. You put that dress on. You put those shoes.
Oh yeah, most important, right?
You showed up. So yes.
Okay. So thank you. Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah, you will.
And by the way, just so you know, I think I started when I was 42, 43. So
really, oh my gosh, I will be you.
You can be the champion, the world champion.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So this is the skincare business give us. You start at 42, right? Nobody can guess your age. We say the ballroom dancers, who care about us, at least 10 years younger.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of that. I'm so happy.
Dancing just makes you look younger. It makes you feel a little bit younger, and you act younger too. So
that's all it's matter, right? For us.
Right.
So thank you so much. I think that's it, right? Yeah, thank you. So this is Everything Ballroom channel. I hope you like what we're doing. If you do, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye.